Two teams more than ready to get this one started. And we are underway here in London. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
The word is potential, potential, potential. Think about this guy from the time he was in high school, one of the top prospects going to college, coming out of college, mentioned as a generational type quarterback. He looks the part. Tall, big arm, surveys the field, and can take off and run when under duress.
They go play action with Lawrence. Steps away. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on first down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the first down yardage. But it's only second and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
Lawrence now off the bootleg. Got him in. It's Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
Second and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. On play action, Lawrence. He'll get this into the hands of the wideout from LSU. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. ETN up the middle. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Now Lawrence to throw. And it's caught. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Brian Thomas from 8 yards out. And the Jaguars are on the board first here this afternoon. Well, they spoke about the importance of getting off to a good start, and they're on their first drive, Charles, into the end zone for the touchdown.
And what an advantage for them. They're already clicking one drive in, didn't need to wait to get up to full speed. We had heard about the extra time they put in with each other, trying to learn each other's skills, what they liked, the whole deal, and it paid off early in this one. I would expect them to keep firing on the next drive and keep that connection going.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it culminates in a Jags touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
And Matthew Stafford was taken first overall in the 2009 draft, and he certainly played like a top pick. Throughout his career, he's been one of the most prolific passers in the league, and there's no reason to believe he's going to slow down his production anytime soon. Not only that, he's also one of the tougher quarterbacks in the league as well.
Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Throwing is Stafford. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
So on 4th down, on is Ethan Evans to punt for the Rams. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. This could end up being a pretty big drive. I mean, look, yes, it's early in this game, but they scored the touchdown. They got the stop. And now if they could get in the end zone here again, CD, they could grab an early stranglehold on this one.
Yeah, they certainly can, and that's what you're looking for. Where's the advantage? Can you gain it? Can you press it? Now for them, finishing it off, because right now it's out there for them. They've just got to go seize it.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That's Byron Young, who ranged in that time and stopped him for a loss.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
And this one is incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Lawrence to throw. And that is incomplete. Akello Witherspoon, really good coverage from the Colorado man, getting a hand in on it.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Here's Logan Cook now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. The good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their 2nd drive of the game. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A quick first down pickup. Good start after going 3 and out on their opening drive.
Yeah, that's a nice pickup there, especially when it comes on the heels of a 3 and out the first time you have the ball. They were determined to not have that happen again, and that's a nice throw for their first down of the game.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Going to be taken in here by Nakua. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Stafford looks to throw again. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Brought to the ground by the linebacker, Foye Oluokun.
Partner, you know what I'm going to say before I even say it.
Yeah, you just cannot take a sack in that spot.
You're exactly right. You can't take a sack in that spot. Potentially now, a 3-point swing right there.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Called it the 26. And now out come the Jags. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
On 2nd down, ETN once more. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. Now they need 2. Here's 3rd down. Here's a give to Bigsby. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up, because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Now the Rams offense getting the football back. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 16. On play action, they'll throw. Pass complete there to Nakua. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
From the gun, here's Stafford. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Play action. Stafford. And that is incomplete.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
And that's exactly what offenses try to avoid by using motion and throwing different formations up. They hate when he can draw a bead on the play, get a running start, and make a big play behind the line of scrimmage as he did just there.
Now it's Stafford. Screen play set up for Williams. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Ethan Evans on now to punt. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll look to ETN to start things out. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. ETN once more. And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. The Rams go nickel here defensively on 3rd. Here's Lawrence. And he backs it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I spotted man coverage on the outside. I expect we'll see a lot of that from this defense as this game moves on. And that was a good job there as that one was knocked away.
Here's Logan Cook now to punt this one away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Stafford. And incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
From the gun, it's a run for Williams. He takes this for 3 to the 29. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Here's Stafford. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
The Jags with the football to begin the second quarter as they've got it 2nd and 7. Here's a give to ETN. Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
This offense so far on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3. Looking to throw, Lawrence. That's caught by Munn. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
A Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. That's returnable now for Smith. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. And the Rams now coming out on the field. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10.
At about the 32. They'll try and start this drive in the air. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive lineman. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Stafford. And that's complete to Adams. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 34-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the 1st half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Stafford. He's got Higbee complete right side. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there. Needed 4.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the 1st down. Now to be 4th and short.
So on 4th down, Sean McVay going to send out the field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And this one is right through. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6.
So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field.
Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up. 1st and 10.
At about the 32. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
2nd and 10. Running out of the gun with ETN. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 45 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
He's able to force his way through one man, but he can muster only about a yard on the play. 2nd down.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there, but how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Draw play, ETN.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Now Lawrence. Screenplay, here's ETN.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a 1st down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
They go play action with Lawrence.
He completes it to Hunter. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get off on the snap, jump too quickly.
So after the penalty, now they need just a yard on 2nd down.
Lawrence. A short throw there to Strange.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. A big one there for the Jags, 18 yards, 1st down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Here's ETN.
Now the ball comes loose. Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. And I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team, fumble recovered. They still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
Now a handoff to Bigsby.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Able to hang on to the ball this time, and in the process picks up the 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Etienne. They'll run with Etienne.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Travis Etienne.
Punching it in from a yard away.
And the Jaguars are able to widen their advantage.
A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Point after try forthcoming. And it's up. It's good. Our score 14-6. So that one a long 11-play drive.
And it was capped off by a Travis Etienne touchdown run.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
Again, it's Williams. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Now Stafford.
That is caught. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Now a play fake, and it's Stafford.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go up the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Throwing is Stafford.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 35. 12 yards on 3rd down as the drive rolls on. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Throwing again is Stafford. Throw right side, going to be caught by Higbee. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Stafford.
They'll find a man over the middle. 2-2 Atwell.
Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Stafford now to throw.
Pass complete there to Nakua.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
And we constantly talk about people being on the same page. In this situation, the two of them saw the play with the same eyes. They understood where the open spaces were going to be, and they found a way to get there to pick up a new set of downs.
And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams.
2-2 Atwell.
In the final seconds of the first half.
And the Rams are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And this is up and good. It brings him within a point now. It's 14-13. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles.
Four seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And with Lawrence's arm, they may give him a shot to let this thing rip downfield. We'll see. Now that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
So a very tight first half. We had to break in a one-point game. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
One of the top performers in that first half was the running back, Travis Etienne. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far.
As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Rams offense and Matthew Stafford set to take over once again. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here.
The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
If they're going to get a first down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. Going to be some contact going on.
3rd down and 1. They'll try and run for the first with Corum. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40.
That's a gain of 13, 1st down Rams.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now it's Stafford.
That one taken in by Whittington. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
From the gun, here's Stafford. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A.
Puka Nacua,
28 yards.
And the Rams have taken the lead here in this third quarter.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set. And racing, going 3 wide is a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed.
Stafford and that Rams offense, they're going to stay out there and go for 2.
They'll look to run for it with Williams. Defensively, certainly not fooled there. Play started at the 2, and he was tackled at the 2.
That has to feel good for them. Not happy about having given up the touchdown, but stopping the 2-point conversion gives them a little bit of a lift as they head to the bench.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2.
And Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side trying to match each other.
He pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, second down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
Lawrence will throw. And this one nearly intercepted. Boy, that would have been a great time for their first pick. But instead, it's third down.
And I think he was a little surprised to see the ball sitting out there like that. That's a ball he had a chance to come away with, but it winds up an incomplete pass.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down.
From the gun, it's Lawrence. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
They'll send the big tight end in motion right.
Here's Lawrence to throw. This ball caught by Strange.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 36.
A handoff for Etienne.
And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. On play action, Lawrence. And this one nearly intercepted. Boy, that would have been a great time for their first pick. But instead, it's third down.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
From the gun on third down, Lawrence.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The LA defense up the snuff in coverage there. Pushes this to 4th down.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will cut the lead down to just 2. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Rams offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that and tells us defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Here's Stafford.
He'll drop this down to Williams.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Well, you know they had a 3rd down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Out of the gun, Stafford. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Adams. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 19. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Stafford.
That's quickly to Atwell on the slant.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule.
Going to be taken in here by Nakua.
That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Stafford. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
It's the safety, Antonio Johnson, who dragged him down.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Back to throw. Stafford.
Screenplay set up for Williams.
And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. They call it a loss of a yard there. And it'll be 4th down.
I know we saw the pass and the completion and obviously the resulting loss of yardage. To me, that play broke down with the blocking on it. Because if you're going to try and swing it that far outside, that blocking's got to hold up to give your guy a chance.
In the defense, they weren't fooled at all.
No, not at all. Boy, were they aggressive on that one.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
They'll start on the ground. ETN.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
77 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then? You take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
2nd and 5. They go play action with Lawrence.
He completes it to Hunter. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
A shotgun snap and a give to ETN.
Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
2nd and 9. A run here with Bigsby.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Great vision there by Lawrence as he scrambles for a 1st down.
On 3rd down, the defense decided to blitz. A very good job of recognizing it, stepping away from the pressure, and finding open space to scramble and pick up a 1st down.
Before they can snap it, time runs out on this 3rd quarter of play. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in London. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the 4th. In motion left comes Brown.
Now Lawrence.
And his throw here is incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Lawrence. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. From 19 yards away. And the Jaguars have taken a 4th quarter lead.
This has definitely been a back-and-forth affair, and now they have the lead here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and they gave up the field goal on that last drive, as we remember, but it felt like their offense told them, don't worry about it. We've got your backs. We'll come back with a touchdown of our own, and they did.
So here we go now as the Jaguars will go for 2.
Lawrence going to look to throw for it.
And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. So that effort gives them a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The visitors' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time.
The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive.
We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
They'll stay on the ground with Williams.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
The offense on 3rd down, they're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 11. Now Stafford.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
Here comes the Rams punter now. He's been terrific so far. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line.
The Jaguars offense and Travis Etienne set to take over once again. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively. It's second down.
I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. Escaping the pressure. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Yeah, and that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Here's Logan Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Here's Smith to return it. A big kick that time, 52 yards. The Rams offense and Devontae Adams set to take over once more, and he's looking to finish strong. He has been the star of the show as they have just had absolutely no answers for him defensively. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Their defense accomplished step one of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth-quarter lead. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Throwing is Stafford. Short throw, it's Higbee. It'll be a gain of just a yard. 3rd and 7 now.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Here comes 3rd down and 7. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. Boy, every time I see speed like that off the edge, Charles, I just don't know how these offensive linemen do it. I would think that they would get called for holding every play, and maybe they should have been called for holding on that one.
Yeah, maybe not just holding, but sometimes you end up setting back in the offensive backfield a little bit farther to try and help you with the edge. That's a penalty as well. Sometimes you overset, they'll come inside of you. That's what speed does. It disrupts an offense. And right now, you've got to pay attention to this edge rusher on every single down.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Jaguars getting set to go. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10. At their own 20-yard line. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Play action, it's Lawrence. He finds his man, complete. That's Hunter. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Straight ahead, ETN. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42.
90 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Byron Young, the one who got in and finished that play off.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again.
Byron Young.
2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down.
It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play. Just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
Here's Logan Cook now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10.
Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10.
At their own 24. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
Open man is Atwell, complete.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
To throw is Stafford.
Slant to Adams.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a 1st down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Play action. Stafford.
Will find a man over the middle. 2-2 Atwell.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Right there, he rose to the occasion late in a close game.
It's something he thought about, dreamed about, and worked on throughout his career. Because in these types of situations, he wasn't going to allow extra coverage to keep him from getting the football.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Now Stafford. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
Boy, that was certainly well read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle him for just a short gain.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
They'll send the tight end in motion left. Now it's Stafford. Short throw, it's Higbee. They'll give him 4 yards there. And just like that, it's third down.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
To the air again, Stafford.
They'll get this one complete to Atwell.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be second down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Here's Stafford.
Pass complete there to Nakua.
And he is going to lose yardage here. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
Made the quick throw there outside the numbers, and you can feel the thought process. They just wanted to get in his hands and let him make a play. But how about the job they did defensively to keep him bottled up? Instead, they tackle him for a loss.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback, he's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Now, we knew this had the potential to be a tight game, but with less than 3 minutes to play, couldn't be any tighter. We're all tied.
All locked up, right? And this next drive is going to tell us everything we need to know about this game because I want to see how they come out with the football. Are they going to be aggressive and attack downfield? You still got the 2-minute warning to come up? Or are they going to be conservative and try and hold on and maybe just get to overtime?
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. They go play action now. Lawrence.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie.
Here comes 2nd down. Back to throw. Lawrence.
Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the 1st down. That's what's vital to them.
Throwing now, Lawrence. A short throw there to Strange.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. Here's 1st and 10.
Stafford now to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Stafford.
He's got Atwell. That's complete.
And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. What do you think? Play this safe? Just worry about getting to OT?
Yeah, don't make any risky throws. It's going to change the outcome. But if anyone slips, take the big shot.
An important one here, no doubt. 3rd and 4.
Now it's Stafford.
And that went to the right side and incomplete.
Well, the defense certainly did its job. They held up in that situation, and now on 4th down, you've got to punt this and try to get to overtime. There's no decision to be made in my estimation.
Here comes the Rams punter now as he's on to kick it away. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10.
Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
Here comes 2nd down and 5. Here's Lawrence. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Lawrence. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter.
Two timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now. Throwing again here. It's Lawrence.
Throw left side complete. That's Hunter. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
They come up now on 2nd and 2. Lawrence will throw. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
A big play looming on 3rd down. On play action, Lawrence. That is incomplete.
There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
They run for it with Bigsby. And they will get the conversion on 4th down to stay alive, but time not an ally. This offense cannot stop the clock now. No timeouts remaining as they come up here 1st down. Lawrence. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence.
And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, as we all know, possessions are crucial in a tie game, and let's face it, I really didn't need to tell you that. You already knew it. So when he sees he's got nothing good going, an excellent decision to just send that one to the sideline.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
Looking long for Thomas. This is caught inside the 15. And he's in for the touchdown. And in the final seconds, forget overtime. They've just likely won this thing in regulation. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. Extra point attempt to come here. And it would appear they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. A 10-play drive that time.
And it ends with what will almost certainly be the game-winning score as the lead is 7 here in the final moments.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. This is 1st and 10.
Now Stafford.
Going to be taken in here by Nakua.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining.
Here's 1st down.
One last throw here for Stafford. This to possibly force OT. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, they got the tip they were looking for but couldn't secure it. And this one's over.
It all came down to one final jump ball on the Hail Mary, but part of the defense was ready, able to force it to be incomplete. Ball game over.
Look, let's face it, everybody wants to work the ball in closer and take a more high percentage pass to try and tie the game. But the Hail Mary, that's what they had to work with. And now they're just hoping that their jumpers can get up higher and are stronger than the defenders. Not the case in this instance. They end up losing the game.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say cheerio from London.